welcome. Today we are celebrating the artists from round 2 of this digital storytelling series, tugging at the threads of gender, clothing, and public policy. We hope that you will chat along with us and be sure to subscribe to this YouTube for future No Pants in Tucson content. I am Mickey Marvel, one of the digital creative co-producers of No Pants in Tucson Digital Round 2, presented by the Anthropologists. Now, I'm teching this show, so you won't see me much, but I will be your voiceover along the way. Now, let's kick things off with Melissa Machito, the founding artistic director of the Anthropologists. And Melissa is like at the rehearsal for No Pants in Tucson, the in-person show. And that's just a friendly reminder that ticket sales are now open for the full in-person production of No Pants in Tucson, which is premiering November 6th in New York City. I'll be sure to post the link to those ticket sales here in the chat for you. But in the meantime, let's hear from Melissa for a moment.
Hi Jade, hi Mickey. I am recording this from rehearsal for No Pants in Tucson. We are in Lower Manhattan at the Malloy Studios, gorgeous studios for everyone that is back to in-person rehearsals in New York City. You have to check this space out, it's incredible. But we're here for our penultimate rehearsal before tomorrow's designer run, and then we're gonna go into tech. But I want you to say hi to everyone. So we've got Erica over here, our sound designer, in the rehearsal room with us. We've got Megan, sorry, I gotta interrupt. Megan, our stage manager. Everyone say hi. Marissa, Mariah, April, Kian, our intrepid ensemble. And then over here, hello. We've got Irina, our costume designer and scenic designer, and Bailey, our assistant stage manager and COVID safety supervisor. So everyone, we want to wish you, team, we want to wish our No Pants digital team. How can I get you all in on a vertical? I don't know. Oh, I'm so close. Erica, you gotta run in. We want to wish the No Pants digital team an amazing watch party. You all created incredible work, and Michelle, Futaba, Key, we love what you put together and created and manifested from the research archives for No Pants in Tucson! See you later. Bye.
That was so precious. Okay, we're just gonna keep going. Next up, we have an interview with Mickey and Jade, the two digital creative co-producers. This interview was originally done on Instagram Live, and it was also done before any of these pieces started coming out. So keep all of that in mind and enjoy this interview. Hello, welcome friends. Here in a moment, Jade will be joining us. Today we're just doing kind of an interview with the digital co-creative producers. So we're really just kind of getting set up, getting started. If you're joining in or if you're watching this, thanks so much for being here with us today. Oh, I see that Jade has just arrived. So we are inviting Jade. Yeah, we did it!
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. Did you enjoy those 10 minutes we had apart?
Yes, I definitely did. I'm just glad I know how to do this now because I've never done an Instagram Live, so learn something new every day.
We're doing it. It's real.
We're doing it.
Awesome. Well, how about, Jade,
we'll each start by introducing ourselves. So go ahead, introduce yourself.
Sounds good. I am Jade Rodriguez. I've been taking over the Instagram today for anyone who's been able to catch up on that, but I will say I'm a Pisces. I am a graduate from Pace University. I was an acting major when I was there, and then I actually had, come across the Anthropologists pretty randomly, and that was kind of the thing that drew me to them was my background in like devised theater and everything, which is what I was mostly really interested in. And this is also my first time producing. For anyone who doesn't know, Mickey, did you not know that? Probably not.
I had no idea. I was just like, wow, Jade's been doing it so long, so skilled, so ready to just go with this. I thought you'd just done it a lot.
I always feel like, as someone who mostly did devise theater, like you're an actor, you're a producer, you're the editor, you're the props master, you're everything in one when you're in that role, especially when you're working with other artists to like make a really big piece. So I feel like that's been my only background in really like producing something. But so that's why this has been really exciting for me because it's the first time.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And Mickey, introduce yourself for everyone.
Okay, very well. Hello there. I am Mickey Marvel. I am a theater person who had to be a marketing major and came back to theater. So it's all ended great. I say that like it's over, but it's not over. Anyway, but yeah, and actually, Jade, it was so wild that you were talking about like that with devising, you end up doing all the things because this year I started producing more. And it was similar in that I realized that like in so much of theater and so much of art, you end up you're just like, oh, I'll just help. Fine, like I'll edit your
Yeah.
video. I've never done that before, but I just want to make sure you're taken care of. Oh, you need somebody to like set out all the chairs at the theater done. I'm helping you do that. Or
Yeah.
whatever it is. And I definitely like at some point this year, I would just say to people, I don't know, I'm just like helping people do art. I don't know, I just help them figure that out. People are like, oh, like you're a producer then. I was like,
You're like, that's what it is?
is that what that is? Can I assign a name to the thing? That'd be great. And then I came across the Anthropologists because I was at the Women's Theater Festival and I was I was assigned, that's the word I was looking for, to moderate their session that they ran there. And I just loved the vibe so much. And it was so much fun. And then I saw their posting and I applied for it. And I will also take this moment to say, Melissa says, Mickey, where's your cosplay costume for today? And I've not posted it yet. I got to post later. I'm doing like 31 days of cosplay. I'm not, okay, we talked about it. Wonderful.
It's coming, Melissa. It's coming.
It's on its way. Let's see. What was the next question? It's very, very high tech over here. Oh, my next question was, why were you drawn to this project?
I would say definitely what I said before of like I had actually been sent like the posting for the like specific position and like like one of those like listserv like email things that you're on, like someone I was connected to at school. And as soon as I like went on the website, I was like, wow, like they do stuff that I care about, like the whole like action and art, and also just like caring about the artists and like letting artists do their research and like their what they need to do to like really create their own piece. I love just like having no rules, like no boundaries. And I think like devising theater, like also just like doing like research based pieces, like that's really what it's all about. So I was like, okay, great. Like this is something that I can really be a part of and like really enjoy doing, which is just what drew me to it. And then also how nice the team was. I agree with what you said before, like just good vibes. Like my interview, like meeting Melissa and everything like that was just really awesome and really just kind and nice, and I love that. I like nice people, and
Imagine.
I love when people are nice. And so yeah, that was really what drew me to everything and what made me feel like it would be a good fit. Yeah. What was it like for you, like once you knew what the project really was, that like drew you to it?
Yeah, so when they were presenting at the Women's Theater Festival, they started talking about this project a little bit, and they talked about some other projects that they worked on, and I was interested in those, but admittedly, they talked about this project, and I was like, no, and by the way, we're talking about No Pants in Tucson Digital, for anyone that's like, they're just talking about a project, No Pants in Tucson Digital. I was obsessed with it because I was just very obsessed with the idea of like how people perceive us by the things we wear, just like that idea. And especially just like you said, that it was like research based. And the thing that really like took it to the next level for me was when I saw that job description, and when I saw that it was really like, how can you support artists in the best way while also helping like push forward the work and elevate the work? And I was like, oh my gosh, it's everything. I want people to do whatever they want to do. Like I definitely, I love all art. So I just love like art existing. So just the idea that like the specific point of the work that they create is like, we have given you these resources. Now, like, go do awesome stuff.
Explore and just find what you want to do, which is also, I don't know if we're talking about this, but that's the most exciting thing for me, has
Just
been
go
just
to
like
it. Just go to it. What's
the
the most
artists,
exciting thing?
yeah, and just letting them explore that and like explore more in their research and like have them dive into it.
Yeah, and is that the like, your most rewarding experience being involved with the anthropologist? That's like the
There you
question
go.
we wrote down. Yeah. Yeah, we can just like skip to that. Yeah, it's definitely the artist. Like, one thing that we've talked about is that we contacted our artists. We were just like, hey, like, just let us know, pitch us something, and also let us know like the historical figure that you might want to base your piece on. They all picked different people. They all that like are also so perfect for them, which was like so magical. They all had totally different ideas and concepts.
And it was just like a very sweet surprise, I guess, that it all worked out so perfectly in that way, because it wasn't anything we did. Like it was really just like them. It was them taking a look at what we had given them and then just like choosing whatever felt right. And then it kind of just felt like everything was right.
Everything, that's it. Everything was right.
Yeah. And it's just continued that way. It's kind of like, I mean, whenever I reach out to them or when we're in touch with the artists, they're kind of just like, I'm having a great time doing this. And they don't feel pressured and at all. They also like the fact that they're able to explore, which like obviously they'll talk about that when they do their Instagram lives, but that's definitely been the most rewarding or like the best part of it.
That's awesome. And then that kind of segues really well into like this other question we wrote down, which is just, what does being a producer on No Pants Digital entail?
What does it entail? I think because really at the end of the day, it's just like being present, I think, with everyone, making sure that like communication is clear between everyone. It's us communicating between each other, making sure that the artists know what's going on, and then us clearly communicating with, the team at the Anthropologists. And it's just been like caring about what's being made and just going with the flow and like making sure that everything is working well together, at least is like what I've experienced from it.
I thought you were about to say it's just about caring, and I thought you were just going to end the sentence there. I was going to be like, it's true.
Yeah. I've also like sent out some emails in between there, but like just caring is the number one thing.
That's so great. But yeah, that's so true. And and a lot of my stuff has been like kind of focusing more on like marketing and distribution side. So admittedly, it's like I haven't done too much at the start, but I'm about to have a lot more as the finished pieces from our artists start coming in. I'm very excited to see them.
Yeah. No, me too. I'm really excited. Yeah, that was kind of like the timeline for everything, I guess, is like we both, Melissa sat down with us and basically decided like what our responsibilities were as like co-producers. And then we've really like throughout the timeline figured out how it really worked. And I was doing most of like the organizing, just like between artists and like the scheduling meetings and everything. And now you've put together a really great marketing plan and everything like that on the other side of it. And it all just came together like really perfectly.
It did. It sure
Mm-hmm.
did. Let's see. I'm going back to my list here. Uh, what? Yeah, I think this is the next one. What's your favorite part of producing?
Mm, I think it's probably, I've already said it a million times, but like it'll just be the artists at the end of the day. And I think that is the main reason why Melissa wanted me for this role, is just because of the fact that I cared about the artists so much. Um, I did what you said earlier, Mickey, of just like I want people to create what they want to create. I don't want to be the person who like isn't helping that and facilitating that. So I think like knowing that that's your goal and knowing that that's what you care about is just my favorite part of it. And making sure that they know that like you'll be there for them if any problems come up or if they need help in any way.
Yeah, it's definitely like supporting, but just the right kind of support. Like if you don't need help, you don't need help. And that's great. If you do need help, that's also great.
Yeah.
And for me, I think back to what you were saying before about when we were talking about how all of the artists picked a totally different historical figure to base their pieces on, took a totally different concept, and how that moment just like felt like magic.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what production you're working on, there's always like at least one, but a lot of times multiple
Mm-hmm.
moments where you're like, this feels like magic right now. And that is my favorite part of producing. All the hard
Mm-hmm.
work is worth it for,
Yeah.
yeah, for that.
No, it is. And I'm just really looking forward to, I mean, we'll be posting about it soon enough. But like I'm really excited for when we do officially come together and premiere everything all together. I think it'll be nice for the artists to be able to come together in the same space and also just see like, wow, like we were all working on the same thing, but like in different ways. Um, which is really exciting, I think, about doing like individual pieces, is how they can also at the end of the day come together and be one.
Yeah, which I also feel like we might as well semi-announce it
Mm-hmm.
right now in that we're planning on kind of airing each of these works individually here on Instagram and YouTube, but we're also going to do a little live stream. One thing you'll learn about Jade and I is that all deadlines are tentative. We like to be very chill.
Yeah.
But Friday, October 29th at 6 p.m., we are planning on doing a YouTube live stream where we're going to air like these interviews in case people have missed them, as well as the completed works from this round two all together so that we can enjoy them all together and type in a chat all together.
Yeah.
And all of
It's
that, of course, will be a great lead up to the in-person show.
hmm yeah. Which is another part of just like one part being the whole, because they've been doing so much work leading up to the actual like main stage show. And I mean, it's nice to know that we can at least like facilitate in a small way with like the digital pieces to get everyone excited for the main stage show.
Well, we're going to say that that's about our time. Jade,
Mhm.
anything you want to push or promote or anything? I don't know.
I'm still on the Instagram today, so I'll just be posting what the rest of my night looks like. And yeah, we're just really excited. All of the artists are really excited. They're very excited to get their work out there, and we're excited for everyone to see it. So,
Yes. All
mhm.
right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining us, and I'm going to figure out how to get out of this live. Thanks so much.
Sounds
Bye.
good. Bye, Mickey.
Wow. It's really wild to watch an interview you did after the fact. So thank you all so much for hearing from Mickey and Jade, the two digital creative co-producers of round two of No Pants in Tucson Digital. Also, we're going to give a little shout out to Johanna Maynard Edwards from National Women's Theater Festival, as well as Peter Michael Marino, who is helping us with press for in person No Pants in Tucson. Thank you both so much for not only being here, but also just for typing in the chat, for joining us and chatting along with the show. Now, let's move on and meet our first artist. So, our first artist is Futaba Shiota. Futaba is an actor who believes in art's potential for organizing movements, and Futaba decided to portray Wang Ah Choi. And Wang Ah Choi was a Chinese woman detained at Angel Island in 1910 who was disguised as a man and hidden on a ship. Now, let's hear a little bit more. Sorry, I'm seeing the chat again. So let's hear a little bit more from Futaba, though, with an interview that features both Futaba, and then we're going to hear from the incredible Jade again. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so I'm really excited today. We are going to be talking to one of our artists that is premiering their work today. And we're just going to do like a really nice interview, just talking about the work and what the process was like for Futaba. And everyone can look forward to seeing his work a little bit later on today. It's going to be premiering at 5 o'clock. So we're just going to wait for him to join in a little bit. I'm really excited. We've already seen Futaba's work, and I'm so excited for everyone else to actually be able to see it. Great. He should be joining now.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello. How are you today?
I'm good. I hope I've never done one of these before, so.
Amazing. This is only my second time. My first time was with Mickey. So, but I'm sure it'll be just as great with me. Your first time will be great with me. So how are you today? You've been doing your takeover, your Instagram takeover. How has that been?
Yeah, that's been fun. Basically I thought I would give kind of a breakdown of how I wrote the piece.
Hmm.
Um, but I woke up I had a leisurely morning, so I didn't really start my takeover until like an hour ago.
That's
Um,
totally, that was me too when I was doing my takeover. But I was looking at kind of like the process for you, and I love just I don't know, just seeing it. Um, so I mean, if you want to start off by introducing yourself, I'm really excited for everyone to see what you made and what's going to be posted later on. So yeah, so we'll just talk a little bit about it today. So you can start off by introducing yourself.
sure. I'm Futaba, Futaba Shiota. I use he, him, his pronouns. Um, I'm an actor mostly, but I thought this would be a fun little opportunity to flex some other skills. But yeah, that's a brief intro to who I am. I live on Lenape land, otherwise known as Brooklyn, New York. And yeah, I don't know what else would be a helpful
That's great.
information to share.
That's great. And for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Jade Rodriguez. Hello, one of the creative co-producers for the digital sleeve that's coming up for No Pants in Tucson. Um, so how did you first like hear about this project and the I mean, I guess it was just from us reaching out, right?
Yeah.
And like what kind of made you say yes or like what drew you to it?
Um, well, I had worked with Mickey before on another, it was like a sketch comedy thing that I had written a piece for, and so that's how Mickey knew me. And I kind of like the opportunity to am I allowed to swear? Maybe I shouldn't swear. Um, I like the opportunity to like try new things, and I've made like little satirical songs before, and I thought this could
Mhm.
be a fun opportunity. And also, I had never heard of this law banning quote unquote women from wearing pants. So I figured I could also learn a thing or two. Um, so yeah, also you were super nice on email. So I was like,
Yeah,
this sounds fun. Yeah.
nice, awesome. So I know because after we reached out, we kind of had, or the anthropologists had already had kind of like an ongoing list of people that they were interested in researching and the characters that could come out of these historical figures. So when you took a look at that list, what made you pick who you picked?
Um, I picked Wong Achoy probably mostly because it was very vague about whether or not they were trans. And like some of the descriptions, it seemed like the people very clearly identified as a woman. But like some of the historical figures, there was a lot of like gray area, history didn't really convey. Also, perhaps they were out or the vocabulary wasn't there, et cetera, et cetera. And also they're Asian. And I think that oftentimes when trans or queer uh, conversation happens, people don't really think about how race really informs gender as well. Like I feel that my gender experience is different from someone of another race, because they're all informed by the powers that be and how we're perceived and all that. And I was kind of fascinated by just like the time. I mean, there's so little about them on the internet. But
Yeah.
I Googled them quickly, and it's really just someone trying to come into this country, and just facing all of the crap. That's as strong of a word. That's just as strong as language as I'll use. All the crap that they have to face. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it's drawn to them.
Yeah. No, yeah. This is actually a conversation that we had when even like me and Mickey first jumped on the project is just this conversation of like there's so little known. Like so much is erased for multiple reasons. So much is just like destroyed along the way or not cared about. And like you have to like really dig. And sometimes the information is just never there. But it's still really interesting to just be able to use what you have and then make something out of that.
Yeah.
Um, so what do you feel, I guess going off of that, what was it like to be an artist working on this project? And I know you posted a little bit about your process like on the story already, but if you want to talk about it a little bit more about what the process was like.
Sure. I don't really know if I have a set process that I always use, but um, Well, I was wondering why I would make a piece about this person. I think that, sometimes history is conveyed in just sort of this, um, like this happened a long time ago and that's that, and let me just tell you what happened. Whereas I think history is most useful and also stays with people the most when you um, put it in the context of how it affects today.
Mhm.
Like it's not a singular event that just happened. I think of it as all time. Time is circular, in so many ways.
Yeah.
So I spent some time uh, extrapolating from the very few things I could find about them, and in a way, thinking about how this person could be a vehicle to talk about issues that I care about, which is, you know, um, the many borders we face, racism, transphobia, um, borders that define nations. And so I um, came up with what I wanted the song to be about. And then I'm actually not very good at coming up with melody. So I just stole some melodies and like changed the chords a little bit, based on, I was like, oh, this tune fits with what I'm going for. And a lot of it is heavily influenced by one of Bo Burnham's songs. So I like kind of stole a lot of his melodies. And then um, I sat down and wrote the song, and it was just a lot of fun. And then I recorded it, and then a lot of it, the process was not sure what the next step was as well,
Yeah, going with the
because
flow.
I made most of this in 1 week because of my scheduling. So it was a lot of like, what do I have time for? What resource do I have? Do I have
Mhm.
daylight? Do I have, can I go outside? And a lot of it is just ended up being in my apartment. But then I recorded it vocally, and then I tried to make, I guess, like a music video to it, which is me lip syncing. Um, and yeah, that's kind of, and then I edited it all on iMovie and sent it along. Maybe like I
Yeah.
think I sent it along like 3 a.m. So apologies for that.
I literally just have like a huge smile on my face, and I know Mickey definitely did too when they were watching it, just because, I mean, exactly just what you explained, like taking something that is, based in history for the most part, and then just like connecting it to today's times. It was just very, um, a lot of thoughts that we have and that everyone has, but like, um, it was just done in a really great, funny, entertaining way. I love it. Um, Mickey goes, "Wait, you made this in a week?" Literally, yes, yes. It's just very, very great. Um, do you have like a favorite part about the project?
Um, Probably the most fun part for me. I mean, I enjoyed all parts of it, but writing the lyrics, um, I've just always enjoyed trying to come up with rhymes. That sounds so elementary, but that's a lot of what it is. I really enjoyed the writing of it and trying to figure out how to make such a wordy, all these laws, all these
Mm,
historical events that happened, and try to make it digestible. Originally it was way longer. I had like all of these other things I wanted to say, and then I, remembered I had to be under 5 minutes, and also like I didn't want to give a 45-minute history lesson when that's not what people signed up for. But it's fun because it's trying to convey what you want, but also thinking about what, um, like hopefully the tune will stick. Hopefully people will be interested,
mm,
because I really think that art, um, has a lot of uses. I don't know if uses is the word, but art can be just for fun. It can, be healing. It can be blah blah blah, and I think that it can be really informative. And I was trying to. I have this desire to make like populist, is that the correct word? Like of the people, art of the
Mm-hmm.
people, a popular genre. A genre,
Gotcha.
like people will want to consume this media. So that was fun to play around with the lyrics.
Nice. I love that. I mean, I guess like it goes together with that perfectly. What do you want people to take away from your piece?
Um, hmm. I think that it's not a, I think borders is a topic that perhaps not everyone thinks about a lot, especially
Very
if you
true.
aren't an immigrant. But it's so potent and it affects so many people's lives. And I guess I would want people to just kind of start reading up, start really thinking about why borders exist, like who, I remember when I was a kid and I learned about all the countries and, borders, and I was thinking like, who made this up? Like who decided all these rules, and that for you to go from this one space to another, you can't, or you have to go through, all this stuff. Um, and I think, I'm a US citizen. I was born here, and I think I take that for granted in a lot of ways. I don't think about how that's not the case for everyone here, and how it's really difficult to get in and then maintain being able to stay here.
Mm.
And I also, the fight over borders is happening globally all the time. And I don't know, I just think that especially as US citizens, like if you're a US citizen and you aren't aware about how the US is pretty much involved in every terrible thing that happens around the world,
Yeah.
I think that we think about the borders in like Korea as a given, but that wasn't that long ago when that division was made. We think about like the borders that happened after the Vietnam War, like the US was involved in that. We think about, I mean, I can go on and on and on.
Yeah.
The US Mexico border, like we're involved in all of
Mhm.
it. So I think it's kind of a duty that we have to actually learn about it. So
Yeah.
hopefully when I say fuck borders enough times, people will, look it up
We'll
a bit or
get
pay
it.
attention.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good way to say it, is like at least pay attention to it, do your research on it. I think what you said earlier of just borders being a general theme or general idea, it's not something that a lot of people, I personally don't think a lot of people think of it as like a global thing. I think in like recent years, the only thing people ever think about probably is like the Mexican border and just like the a lot of the horrific things that have been going on for a very long time. But it is a global thing at the end of the day, and it's really, really embedded in our history. As you say in your piece, and like as I'm sure a lot of your research was on. So it is a really, really good topic. It's great. I just loved watching it.
Thank you.
Of course.
Sorry, one thing before. I think when I say borders, it's, things that we might not think of as borders as well.
Hmm.
I think gender is defined by borders that someone made up, and nationality, and, who defined what the races are, and like how has that like made up things that have real life consequences, right? Like people have real life experiences because of these things. Anyway, okay,
Yeah.
you can go to your next
No, a
question. I just want
hundred,
to say
a
that.
100%, 100%. And I also think you explored that really beautifully in the piece too, is just like how borders can be different things as well. It's awesome. And I always love that. I say that all the time, like everything's fake. Everything is fake. It's all been made up. It's just really interesting to think about. Um, so okay, so is there anything else you kind of want to share, or is there anything that you're actually like working on now, or like what's your next thing that you feel like you're going to be working on?
Um, I'm really interested in like labor movements and
Mm,
how art can be a really effective tool in those. I
mm,
think, it's Striketober. There's so many strikes that are either happening or lined up to happen. And I think it, the country, the US, especially after the pandemic, I mean, not after, we're still in the pandemic, but
mm.
everything that has happened in the last year, I
Yeah.
think, has really amped up the pressure around workers' rights. And I'm trying to investigate. I mean, I originally am from theater, and so I'm trying
Mm,
to do a project about all of the unions that exist in the theater and how we can be more effective in using them.
mm.
And yeah, that's kind of the probably most prominent project that is percolating in my head.
Yeah.
Um, and then on a totally different note, I will be in a show in Missouri in January, if anyone is there, at
Nice.
the St. Louis Repertory Theater. It's just me clowning around in 39 steps. So
Oh my
shout
God,
out
that's everything.
if you're there.
Oh, good luck with that. That's probably
Thank
going to be
you.
awesome. That's such a fun show.
I know I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
Nice. And just to go back about what you said about kind of like what your next inspiration or the ideas that are percolating about labor and everything. Um, I mean, I think just to go off of like the piece, once everyone sees it, I think it'll be easier to understand that like what you do explore in that and like what we've just been talking about, like relates directly to that. Like this idea of just how I don't the way that we've been raised or just like the way that things are in this country right now. You're kind of just supposed to believe that things are supposed to be one way.
Hmm.
Um, when really at the end of the day, maybe we all deserve to be treated a little bit better. And
Hmm.
maybe we shouldn't
Maybe.
have been so compliant to so many crazy things that we are forced to do.
Yeah.
And it's really great to see so many people like feeling like they're finally able to speak up and like be heard and that change will happen hopefully and yeah, that's a really great topic to focus on as an artist.
Yeah.
So you're doing the good work.
Thank you.
Of
Thank you.
course.
Thank you.
And I'm really excited for everyone to see your piece. It'll be posted at 5 today, so pretty soon everyone will be able to see it. And yeah, are you excited?
I am. I didn't actually watch it before I sent it, but I did
You
watch it.
said, here you go.
I did watch it, and and my partner was with me, and they're like, "Oh, it's good." I was like, "You have to tell me if it's not good." They're like, "No, it's good." So, I am excited for folks to see it, and hopefully,
Yay.
I'm also eager for feedback because, if the video doesn't do what I set it out to do, then that's
Mhm.
useful. Um, because yeah, I'm very curious about how we want art to do certain things, but are they actually doing them?
Mhm.
And that kind of follow up, I'm hoping to practice myself and encourage others to do so. Um,
Nice. It's a whole process, you
it's a
know. This
process.
is just another part of the process. People being able to see it, let you know their ideas on it if you are open to that and want it and yeah, it's kind of just like the next step for a piece like this.
Yeah, of course.
Nice. Well, those are all the questions I have for you today.
Amazing.
I'm really excited for everyone to be able to see it, your piece, and yeah, thanks for talking to me today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Have fun with the rest of your Instagram takeover and
Thank
have a
you.
great weekend, you
You
and
too.
everyone watching. And yeah, talk soon.
Awesome. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
And now, Borders, the story of Wong Ah Choi and why borders suck. A song by Futaba Shiota. Enjoy.
Have you ever heard of Wong Ah Choi, the Asian refugee who snuck into the US, dressed up like a boy? No? That's so funny. I feel like that's the kind of queer history of color US history textbooks would love to cover. Oh no, wait, we're completely erased. Right. There's only 2 little things about them on the internet, but those 2 little things tell a story that I bet you'll never forget. One of them is a citation that's less than 10 words, but that's enough to let me know that US laws are a pile of turds. Oh, you weren't ready for some cold hard facts? Well, get ready, buddy, because there's a lot more where that came from. For you to understand the story, let's go back to the Opium Wars. The Brits caused a kerfuffle and the Chinese fled in hordes. So the US banned Chinese immigrants with the Chinese Exclusion Act that only ended in 1943. Yes, beloved Italian-American actor Robert De Niro was alive before Chinese folks were allowed back into this country. And that's a fact. 'Cause borders are racist, they hurt, never heal. Borders are racist, that's how I feel. The Irish are welcome inside, but no one else if you're not white. Sounds like there was a lot of anti-immigrant sentiment happening around that time. Reminds me of, right now. Before the Chinese Exclusion Act, another law came to be. In 1875, Chinese women were banned from this country. What? Why? What do the women do? How are they different from a man? Well, you see, Asian women might want to have sex with you. Yes, that's literally the reason for the ban. Meanwhile, other laws passed. Happenstance. Men decided women weren't allowed to wear pants. I know, what a silly, trivial thing. But guess what? In Tucson, Arizona, women in pants still totally forbidden. 'Cause borders are sexist, they hurt, never heal. Borders are sexist, that's how I feel. No sex work. And wait, you're a girl? You can't wear pants or travel the world. Okay, now we're finally ready for the star of the song, Wong Ah Choi. Wong Ah Choi was a suave motherfucker who snuck into the United States. They said, fuck y'all, I'm gay and trans and I don't care about Asian hate. How do I know this historical figure was a flaming homosexual? Well, it says right here in the paper, they were destined to a life immoral. In old times, immoral meant gay. So after being kicked out because they were queer as fuck, Wong Ah Choi tried to come back but had much shittier luck. It was 1910, tensions high and they were Chinese, and they dressed up like a boy, so you know what that means. Wong Ah Choi was caught and ordered for examination. Don't you love the way human beings are violated in this nation? The fear they must have felt when they were suddenly discovered, and the events that happened afterwards have never been recovered. Borders, they exist when it's convenient, like calling billions of people the Orient. And I'm not Chinese, but I stand with them the same. Asian hate hurts all of us, and China's not to blame. And borders decide who you are and what you wear. If you've crossed that gender order, then you know it's so unfair. Walking through this nation with an ever-growing fear. 100 anti-trans bills were proposed just this year. Why? 'Cause borders are trash, they hurt, never heal. Borders are trash, that's how I feel. They're racist, sexist, and always transphobic. And Border Patrol can suck my dick. Fuck all the borders, they hurt, never heal. Fuck all the borders, that's how I feel. Someone made them up, they're totally fake. And 10 out of 10, a huge mistake. So that's the legacy of Wong Choi, the Asian refugee, dressed up like a boy. Now you know one more story and all of it is true. Maybe we can learn to cause a little trouble too.
While you all are giving so much applause to Futaba in the chat, which, just make sure we're getting that applause in the chat, everyone, because that was such an incredible song. It's going to be in your head for weeks, like I mentioned. But while you're doing that, while you're just reveling in that beautiful piece of art, I do want to let you know about Resetting the Table, a conversation series about gender and public policy happening Monday, November 1st and Monday, November 8th at 7:30 p.m. Guess what? Right here on this YouTube channel live. Now, I'm going to go ahead and post something in the chat so that you can RSVP to it. And we're going to move on to our next artist. Our next artist is going to be Michelle Washington. Michelle is an actress who is passionate about telling stories that are thought-provoking and connect with humanity. And Michelle is portraying Maud Allen, a black woman alias James Allen, was arrested in Baltimore in April 1909 for wearing male attire. As a young woman in male apparel, she became a teacher in the public schools of Baltimore. Now, let's hear a little bit more from Michelle and about why Michelle chose Maud Allen with this interview, again, originally done on Instagram Live near the day of Michelle's release. Enjoy. Hi there. Hello. Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Mickey Marvel and I am one of the two digital creative co-producers of No Pants in Tucson Digital Round 2. Here in a moment, I'm going to be joined by Michelle M. Washington. Oh my gosh, I see joined. And we're just going to be talking to Michelle. Come on in. Okay, I see Center.
We're just going to talk to Michelle about her new work, which is premiering this Friday. So we'll see if we can. Hello.
Hi, Vicky. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. It's so good to see you. I'm really excited for this.
I'm excited too. We're gonna have here. I'm just like this. We're gonna have a really chill, fun time. It's gonna be good.
Great. Say like, okay.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how was your day?
It's been okay. How's your day been?
It's been busy. It's been
Yeah.
busy. Oh yeah.
How does it feel to know that you have a new work premiering in 2 days?
So this is so new to me. I've never really written or directed something, especially a short film. So I'm really excited, also kind of anxious because I'm anxious to see how everybody reacts to it or responds to it.
It's like so wild to me that this is your first short film, and like because I've watched it, right? And because you say that, and I'm like, how? So, I have like a whole list of questions, but I just wanted to personally ask you, I guess.
Yeah.
So, what about this historical figure where you were like, it's going to be a short film? I've never made a short film before, but I'm committing like to that format.
Okay, so you know me, Mickey. I love film. Film is close to my heart, and I wanted to push my artistry in a way that's out of my comfort zone, especially as an actor and be on the other side of things. And I felt Maud Allen, like her, I don't know, her story just captivated me in a way where I felt like there was no other way for me to tell it other than cinema, if that makes sense.
I love that. I love that. Okay, I'm gonna go back to like my super serious list of questions. First of all, I'll let you introduce yourself.
I know you're fine. You're fine. Hi, my name is Michelle Washington. Um, I am a Virginia Union University graduate of 2021 with Bachelor of Fine Arts and Theater Arts, and I am the writer and the director of To Be Seen.
Which is premiering this Friday at 5 p.m. here on Instagram as well as on YouTube. And it's, again, I've seen it. It's real good, yeah. I don't want to spoil. Okay, so I think the first thing is that I'm going to ask you is what drew you to be part of this project? Like, I know we reached out, but what made you say, like, yes, like this is something I want to be part of?
That's a really good question. Of course, you're reaching out, and I've loved working with you in the past. It was a great experience. Definitely stretched me as an artist. Once I discovered what the anthropologist main focus is, especially right, so it's something that's really close to my heart. And when I figured out the No Digital project, the No Pants project. Sorry, I'm kind of nervous.
You're fine. You're fine. I almost did it earlier. I almost said no digital in Tucson, and I was like, that's not it.
No Pants project. I thought that was so fascinating because I honestly didn't know really much about that history. That women back in the early 1900s were prohibited and were forbidden to wearing male hair. It was such a big thing, and that's nowadays clothing is gender fluid, in my opinion. So so this is what really attracted me to this project.
Yeah, and then what attracted you to Maud specifically? What made you pick Maud as your historical figure?
Yes. Well, I've been having I had kind of a hard time figuring out her history because so much of the history that No Pants, the digital series is doing is hidden. And it's only in one big book. So I think when I really figured out who she was, like as a woman through the stuff that I've done with researching, I thought it was interesting because she was a Black woman in the early 1900s for being arrested wearing male attire. And the fact that she stated no one ever suspected her sex. I had to really dig deep into that. And also she was like an advocate for the community. She was involved in the church. She was a Black public school teacher around New York, Maryland, Baltimore, those areas. So I just thought it was fascinating how something so simple as wearing clothing can get completely diminished from society.
Yeah, just like blown out of proportion. Like she did, like you were saying, she did so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not enough because of this one thing.
That's what I said. I said the same thing. Right. And now it's like so different because nowadays the clothing is not really important. It's so gender fluid.
So true. Oh my gosh, it's so true. Okay, I'm going back to my little list.
You're fine.
So what was it like being an artist for this project? And especially for you, what was your process like? Because you've never made your own short film before. Now you're writing in it and you're directing it and you're starring in it. And I'll come to that in a second because, of course, I do want to talk about your wonderful team as well. We definitely got to talk about them, but go ahead.
Oh my gosh, Vicky. Honestly, me and my production crew, and we have worked tirelessly and selflessly throughout. And we've only did this within 2.5 weeks, but we were together every single day. So I wrote it in a week. And then the week after that, when I talked to you and Jade, we filmed in one week from Monday to Saturday. And then the week after that, me and my photography, one of mine, Isaiah Bowers, Maya, Donay, the one, love her dearly, great. Me and Isaiah were up hours the week after film every single day editing. So it's been it's been it's been so, and I've learned so much through the process, and I've honestly wouldn't trade for anything the experience I've got, and especially with the team.
Well, and I don't I don't want to speak for you all. I can only speak for myself as an audience member. I would say as an audience member, I felt I would be like, this is so worth it because it's so incredibly good. You all have created something like so beautiful. So I just love, like you mentioned earlier, it's like there's about all these historical figures, there is so little about them, which makes me very upset and could be a whole rant by itself. But my favorite thing is how you take what is there and you see so much in that. You see everything that is not said. It's beautiful.
It was a minute because like again, like you said, Mickey, there wasn't a lot of information or research to back it up. Like I went to libraries and I was looking, and I looked online.
I remember when you said that.
Right. And I'm like, this is it. Like, so you really had to put yourself into that time period, and especially kind of into the short narrative biography that was provided.
Oh my gosh. Yes, absolutely. Okay, I'm going back to my list. All right. So what was your favorite part of this process?
Oh, that's so hard. I really enjoyed team. And I don't mean that in the cliche way. I mean genuinely there would have this vision without the help of course the anthropologists, without my team would have not been possible. And I believe that film it's a collaborative art. It can't happen without a team. I think of course, making it and also presenting it to them, the vision, and seeing how they would see it as well, and being on one accord. And also the editing process was so much fun. And yes, it was hard and lengthy, but Isaiah and Maya have taught me a lot when it comes to the basics, the camera angles, and with audio, Hassan, just how everything just merges to one. So I think the editing process, and definitely just the team's idea, and then just everybody collaborate.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. And I just want to shout out because I think Isaiah just joined our little stream here.
I don't know who's here, but hi, hey Isaiah.
Yes, I see that you're in there. Okay, heading back to my list. So what do you hope that people take away from To Be Seen?
That's kind of like a heavy question.
I know, it's a heavy one.
Like it's like honestly, I would probably have to say the most basic term, clothing is gender. It's not that big of a deal if a man wants to wear a dress or makeup, or a woman wants to wear overalls and boots. Like it doesn't make
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's it. Well, and it's true because you've said it like throughout this thing so far. So absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Now I'm going to a few questions that the audience has asked you. And if there are any that you don't want to answer, you can just be like, I don't have an answer for that, and we'll just move on. They're all good questions, but if there's one that's just like that stumps you. Okay. So we have one question that is, what's the first play that you were ever a part of?
The first play, it was a musical, and and it's one of my favorite musicals. It was In the Heights. at Highland Springs High School, and I played Carla.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And
Sorry.
so that was my first play, and I think I was 15 or 16.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, it's just like that's such a beautiful, challenging work. And so yes, I see how that might have influenced you like as an art. I'm just like, okay, I now see that somebody who started with a just like beautifully challenging piece might then be like, I think I can just make a short film.
No. I honestly, I've always been really fascinated with acting ever since I was younger in the performing arts, because I come from a performing arts family. My family is like a group of dancers and musicians predominantly. So when I went to high school, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be afraid. Let's try this. And the only thing that they were doing was In the Heights. And I love musicals, but I was always self-conscious singing. So I just went on a whim and yeah.
You did it.
Yeah, right. And now I love it. Like
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Okay, another wonderful audience question. How has working on this project inspired you?
that's a really good question. That's a really good question. It's inspired me to more art that is, how do I say? I'm trying to word it.
Oh, are you about to say like you want to do more social justice art?
Yes.
Sorry, because I'm like right there with you, which is why I'm like I want to do so. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Go
Like,
ahead.
no, more advocacy for controversial topics that are not well known. I'm going to bring a light to those areas.
I love that. That's a beautiful answer to a beautiful question. Let's see. We have a lot of audience questions, which is why I'm just like, so another one is, I love the outfits in like the trailer. How did you all come up with the outfits?
Yes. Okay. So my costume designer, Shaughnessy Hill, she is a stylist. I forgot her Instagram name. I'm so sorry, Shaughnessy. Completely forgot.
I think it's Shaughnessy XO.
Yes, that's
I'm
her.
not saying she asked one of the questions. No, maybe.
If she did, it's all prop. So when we first did it, I kind of wanted a modern twist to 1990s fashion, early 1990s. So there are some scenes, I'm not going to give it away, that I kind of wanted it to give Vogue, but also early Shaughnessy Hill, I did not know where to go with it, and I trust her as an artist and as a stylist, and I just gave it to her, and I told her my vision, and she did phenomenal with the costume design, truly.
Yeah, it's truly so good. It's so good. Let's see. Has this film changed your future work in any way?
Wow. Yes, I do. I've always been passionate about controversial theater and controversial films and just topics that need a light shown on them. So I think I'm pushing towards more of that realm, especially when it comes to film and theater. It has helped me grow, especially with trusting my intuition as an artist and the vision. Because when I was writing it, I was truly like, I don't know if anyone's gonna see the vision as if I see it. And when I found that core group of people who truly, I was like, okay,
So beautiful. That is.
That's truly what I feel like will help me in the future as an artist.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And then what are some of the things that you like learned or gained while you were shooting this film?
Yes. a lot. Um, so I've been on an independent film set early in January, and it was different, of course, because I was just acting. So me having to hat of the writer and the director, main actor, I've learned so much in those sense and how it's a lot of work. To all of those people who truly don't know what's behind the scenes in film and especially theater, it's a lot of paperwork. The paperwork does not stop. And the thing is, I think post production is heavier.
It's so
Because even this week, and we've talked, it's heavier. It's heavier. But then I also have learned, of course, with theater, theater and film, they both have collaboration because you have to, but it's a different kind of collaboration in film. And like, yeah, it's been great. It's just been great. I've learned.
that's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so now I'm asking just a selfish, yes, selfish, not selfless. It's a selfish one. Mickey question, which is, are you gonna make another film? You've made one.
I it honestly has inspired me to like think more about writing. It's really interesting. Of course, I love acting, but the writing aspect, it's something different.
Yeah, it's so good. And
Right.
it's like, because I also like peeked at your script because I was
Yes.
helping with subtitles. And so like you do like just such a beautiful job. I'm not getting away. You do such a beautiful job of conveying what you mean in the script itself. So then as you're watching it, you're like, yeah, I see, this is the same thing. Anyway,
No, thank you. I was hoping that was getting across. Thank you.
yeah. So, and my final question before we let you go is there anything else that you'd like to share? Your next project you're working on, maybe?
Um, I am working on some next spring. It's theater. I don't want to disclose it yet because it's in the works, but it's theater. I'm very excited. And again, this opportunity has opened my eyes so much, and I'm so very thankful for you, Mickey, Jade, Melissa, the whole team and group of the Anthropologists opportunity. And I'm also so thankful for my production crew, and I will always be so thankful. The memories you make in 2.5 weeks during film and theater is something you can't take back. You become a family instantly.
Oh
So
gosh, absolutely. Well, and just so you know, like it's so the same. Thank you so much for all of your efforts. Like, thank you to your team for supporting your vision. You never met me, but it comes through in everything you do that you just totally support Michelle. And also, I'll say this chat right now, if you look at this chat really fast, Michelle, you will just see how much people support you and how much they love your work. And I just wanted to take a moment to call attention to that
thank
while
you.
you were here.
I really appreciate every one of you guys. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, y'all, we're going to get out of here before this gets any more emotional almost at this point. But thank you so much. Remember, Michelle's piece is premiering tomorrow, Friday at 5 p.m. here on Instagram and on YouTube. And otherwise, thanks so much for joining us. Michelle, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you. And thank you all for coming. Thank you, Mickey.
Thank you. Good night, all.
And now, to be seen, an experimental film by Michelle M. Washington.
As I recall, the revelation came to me in the earliest memory of my high school years at the age of 16. On entering the all-boys Baltimore colored high school, the thought occurred to me that I might make a big success in life as a man. I know that a woman of my race has not much a chance, so, with due thought, I shaved my head and bought an entire outfit of men's clothes. This way of living, through the expression of choice in genderfied clothing, was seen as an act of rebelling. No, this is my way of being seen as equal. This is my way of being seen as equal. I got through the school in 3 years, graduating at the head of my class. By seeing this accomplishment and acknowledgement on my intellect, I aspired to become a teacher. Even though I made the then drastic change to shave my head throughout my years of attending school, I was certain no one ever suspected my sex. No one even acknowledged it. Realizing my place in this world as a black woman has not been a comforting experience. Women are continuously forced to be put into a box that does not get any light or recognition to grow in this world. But a black woman is faced with societal pressures to succumb to the lowest of opportunities, especially within the workforce. One time, I had fallen ill and decided to go to the hospital. The doctor began to suspect that I was not indeed a man and thought it was a good idea to alert the authorities. I was put under arrest for a second time, and still, I was not seen.
What's your name?
My name is James Allen.
James Allen, that is.
Correct.
Is there an issue, doctor?
The patient goes by the name James Allen. I suspect that he is indeed a woman.
Well, we cannot allow that to be. Why would she want to be seen like that?
For attention. It's always for attention. I am alerting the police right away. She'll learn not to yearn to be seen all the time to be able to get through in this life.
$50. The amount of the fine I had to pay due to the doctor's uneasiness with my sex. 24 hours. The amount of time the authorities gave me to put on feminine attire. Oh, tell me, sir, what difference does it make about the clothes I wear? Is that the only way you'll acknowledge us women? Is this the only way the world is willing to measure our worth for growth, for opportunity? Over the past 5 years, I was a teacher for a black public school in Brooklyn and eventually became a teacher for another public school in Maryland. I was transferred to a school here in Baltimore named number 106. I see no reason as why I should not be allowed to dress as I please. I should not be hampered.
while you all are just, again, taking a moment to just reflect on that piece, again, Michelle M. Washington's first film that she created, which I'm just going to keep saying that over and over again because it's wild to me, while you're taking a moment to give her and her team all of the applause. I'm going to take a moment to remind you that No Pants in Tucson's world premiere for the in-person full production is coming up in New York City. It's the year 1883, and an ordinance prohibiting women from wearing pants has been ordered in Tucson. In this subversive new comedy, the Anthropologists dares to calculate the cost of gender oppression. With a creative and producing team of women, non-binary, and transgender artists, we excavate historical newspaper articles, legal text, and photographic archives to unmask the real lives impacted by these archaic laws. I'll go ahead and post that information on ticket sales in the chat right now. And in the meantime, we are going to move on to our next artist. Y'all, we're visiting our third artist for the evening, who is the incredible Kiana Alexander. Kiana is a North Carolina-based director, playwright, and theater administrator. And Kiana is portraying Sarah Bell. Sarah Bell, a black woman, was arrested in Wilmington, North Carolina in 1904 on a charge of disorderly conduct. When arrested, she was dressed in men's attire. First, let's hear a little bit from Key from an interview done just a couple days ago. We're finally catching up now. Enjoy that interview originally from Instagram Live. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Here in a moment, we are going to be joined by the incredible Kiana Alexander. And I am so excited to interview her. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I see Akix is here. The incredible Kiana Alexander has just joined. So I know that we'll get a little request here in a second. Here, actually, maybe I can send one too. Well, why can't I send one to you? There we go. You can send it to me.
And we're just going to be kind of talking. Oh my gosh. You're here.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's a Wednesday, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, it is.
It certainly is. It's Wednesday vibe program. How are you?
Good. Do you remember back in the day, that was like Geico commercials about Hump Day?
Yes.
I think that is my life now, where I just kind of want to just walk up to people and just unsolicited Hump Day. That's the energy I'm bringing you this afternoon. Absolutely.
I mean, I love every energy you bring me, but I especially love that energy. So cool. Are you excited about your piece premiering? I tried to like piece premiering this Friday.
Am I excited or am I nervous? Or both?
Sometimes it's both.
I'm gonna say both, but yes, I'm very excited.
Oh my gosh, well you should be, because it's really great and people are gonna love it. Okay, I'm going to my list. I also have one audience question for you, and I'll be honest, it's a really great question, but it's thought-provoking. So we'll get there.
Okay.
It's a question that's actually, what if I start with that question?
Let's do it.
We'll start with the thought-provoking question, and then we'll have like super easy. Okay.
Yeah.
So name a time when you have had to go incognito, or when you've had to purposefully fly under the radar. Isn't that such like a specific to this project? Such a good question.
That was so heavy. And I'm trying to debate, do I want to give this like a serious answer or a fun answer? Ooh. Huh.
That's true.
Fly under the radar. Okay,
Really
for
see
everyone
you.
in the audience. Oh my God, Chelsea Russell, hello. For everyone in the audience, if you personally know me, you know that I am very much an extrovert. So the idea of flying under the radar is not innately what I seek to do. I think, bam, I got it. So I was working on the crew for a local news production, like they were trying to start a very specific like Durham news, specifically for like Central University at the time, and very small, and they wanted to do a debate series. So I was hired on to be a part of the crew to make this debate series happen. It was 2016. If anyone remembers what that year was like, you understand how the debate series could have gotten really messy really fast. So I will say flying under the radar was I was trying to remain professional and not insert myself into the debates because, gee willikers, everyone, I really had some choice words for some of the people we interviewed. So I will say my flying under the radar was I'm just going to quietly stand behind this camera and not say anything.
Wow, that I can. Oh, yeah, that is some tough flying under the radar there. Wow,
Oh, yeah.
what a time.
I don't
What a
know
time.
if my face was fixed or if like I just looked actively angry the whole time. I'm sorry, sir, did you say what I think you just said?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, my face would have definitely just been just clearly angry, clearly furious.
Yes. So I will say that was my flying under the radar moment. Not trying to hurt feelings because I wanted to keep my job.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, and that was kind of like our fun, our super fun, silly, like audience question that we got started with. But now we'll kind of transition into that, like the anthropologists and specifically this No Pants in Tucson digital series. So, really, like, what drew you to be part of this project?
Sure. So, fun fact for everyone in the room, Mickey was the person who asked me to join. So I was like, well, if Mickey's doing it, there must be some merit here. Let me like check it out. And so I had the opportunity to watch some of the previous No Pants like parts of the series. And I was just really intrigued and impressed with the variety of content that was there. Like so much was spanning the scope of what we call artistry and what we call performance. So I was really intrigued to challenge myself to consider, well, what could I contribute to already such a remarkable piece of work that spans so many different genres, platforms, and so many just different ways to make art. And I was like, I don't know in what way I can be different and stand out amongst these artists, but I desperately wanted to be a part of them.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Oh, and then you specifically picked Sarah Bell as your historical figure. And what drew you? Tell us about Sarah. What drew you to Sarah?
Sure.
All that stuff.
Cool. So, guys, we're going to travel back in time to 1904, Wilmington, North Carolina. Again, if you know me personally, that is very close to where I grew up my entire life. So that's like a hop, skip, throw away from like my entire childhood. So one, I was really drawn to, 1904 Wilmington. I have an idea of what that area looked like then because of how it looks now, because of how 2004 Wilmington looked like. I can kind of figure out what 1904 Wilmington looked like. But Sarah Bell was a Black woman who was arrested for not disturbing the peace, but it was disorderly conduct. So she's arrested for disorderly conduct in 1904 as a Black woman in Wilmington, North Carolina, which, if anyone is familiar with the city, has a very long-standing history of white supremacy and just racism in general. And then the other intriguing part is that when Sarah was picked up by the police, she was wearing men's garb. So it's like this really fascinating story of, okay, so we have this Black woman in a historically racist town trying to pass as a man and then gets picked up by the police for disorderly conduct. And it's like, that in itself is a story. And I wish that there was, and I tried to research this, you guys, I really did. There's just not a lot of information about the case out there, about what actually happened, what was the disorderly conduct. So I got to take a lot of liberties with her story and kind of put into my own mind, well, here's what could have happened, here's what I hope happened, all that good stuff. Also,
Yeah. Oh. Just say hello, do it. I know what you.
Hi, Destiny, it's nice to see your face. All right, next question. Did I answer the question?
You did answer the question like so thoroughly too. The most thoroughly. It was beautiful. And it like truly speaks to your piece too. Where like I just imagine Sarah was just hanging out, living her life, and they're just like, you're being disorderly. Sarah's like, what? Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
It's not. That's sarcasm. It's not. What was like your favorite part about working on this project?
So this is a wee bit of a spoiler, but I got to like collect voices of Black women. So I spent so many hours just listening to content, just listening to like famous Black women talk about their experiences in the world and their hopes and dreams for the future of other Black women. So like for a good like week and a half, I was just sitting here like, you're right. I can rule the world. Thank you.
That's so inspiring.
So I was just living off of that, you know, like when you get like those life coach highs, I was just living off of life coach highs for like 2 weeks. So
That's beautiful. That's amazing. And you picked so many, yeah, like it's wild because like the clips you used are like so good, like so like prolific. And then I don't know, it also makes me think about how much you probably could have used that you couldn't even fit in.
So I cut all of the quotes that I wanted to use into one very, very large audio file. So just the quotes alone would have come out to, I think, 13 minutes. And that's just, y'all, I'm doing like sound bites. I'm doing very small clips and then I just line them all up. And so that's 13 minutes of sound bites. So we understand how many quotes I pulled. So I was like, okay, I clearly needed to like just pick like my favorite 8. But yes, so it was so good. I think I'm just gonna kind of let that list of quotes just kind of live in my computer from now on for when I need to pick me up.
Oh my gosh, you absolutely should. Oh, you should just, that is for you now, for your life. What do you hope that people take away from your piece, from your work?
So there is a artist who is also based in Durham, North Carolina. Her name is Monet Marshall. And one of the things that she really focuses on is shifting our perspective of Black stories from one of resilience and overcoming to one of joy, to one of like, yeah, we're here having a great time. Nothing else needs to be talked about. We're just out here being joyful. So I think what I want my audience to take from it is like, relief. I want them to like experience the joy with me, have a sense of relief instead of that hard conversation we often have to have about Black art which is about the struggle, about obstacles, about perseverance. What if we just laugh? What does that look like? So I hope people get a smile. I hope they leave with a smile.
I know that they will. I'm speaking from experience. They will. They will. It was even I have to send you, Key. I did edit like that little behind the scenes video I told you about. I'll have to send it to you.
So,
It's only available on Patreon to other folks if you're out there. Also, if you're a Patreon person, that will be coming your way. This little bonus content, the Key, I'll make sure you get it because, again, it's just so delightful. Literally, you just setting things up is the most delightful. Anyway. All right. And then, like, my final question, anything else you'd like to share? And are you working on anything else? And I know you are.
Okay. Anything I would like to share? Yes. In that, like, I just want to reiterate to everyone in the room, this personal shift that I'm making in my own career, but I hope other people do it too, of really finding not only joy in the stories that we tell, but also finding the joy in our lives, doing what we want to do, and finding like, oh, yes, struggles are going to happen, obstacles are going to happen, bah humbug. But like really taking the time to appreciate smaller things that give you everyday joys and then bigger things that you can like anticipate joy from. So just kind of reiterating that to everyone in the space, like, yeah, bro, be joyful, bro. You deserve it. And I do use bro as like a gender neutral term. Everyone is my bro. Mickey, you're my bro.
I'm honored to be your bro.
Also, I'm going to give a special shout out to the one, the only, the Mickey Marvel for being my camera person on set. So I do want to also just kind of speak that into existence, that Mickey got to see all of the awkwardness that is me trying to figure out what in the world do I do with my body sometimes, because I get very so just want to share a gratitude for you as well, dear Mickey, being there with me. What working on was your next question. I am directing a show for the University of Chapel Hill. University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. So long to say, gross. So it is a show titled Anna Kay, written by Professor Jacqueline Lawton. It is a story about a Black woman struggling. It is, but I promise you guys, we are finding the moments where there are joy. Just don't want to sound too hypocritical. Like, you just said all this joyful stuff and now you're working on this? All right. Okay. Again, obstacles happen, but we find the things. Outside of that, I do have a YouTube channel called Theater's Not Dead with Kiana Alexander. We have been on hiatus for almost 8 months now. But there's content. So there's some great evergreen content for everyone to check out. I promise we're coming back eventually. Outside of that, oh, wait. There is something else. I am unclear if they've made the public announcement though, so I'm not going to say what I'm working on. But I just got cast in another project. So yeah, I'm putting my actor hat back on, everyone. For who? For what? Can't tell ya. But more to come. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll be posting about all my shows.
Yeah, I was about to say, it just means they gotta follow you so that they know, because I want to see it. I've already committed myself. I want to see it. Well, otherwise, Key, thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching this live, friendly reminder, this Friday at 5, you'll be able to see Key's piece live for the first time. And then at 6 p.m. on the Anthropologists YouTube, we're going to do a live stream where we share all the interviews and all the new works that have come from round 2 of New Pants. No, new pants. Sorry.
I
No
did not
pants.
project, so
It works. So yes, thank you so much for joining us. And Key, have a great one.
you too. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
And now, Disorderly Joy, a movement piece by Kiana Alexander.
And then we do a much greater disservice to girls because we raise them to cater to the fragile egos of men. We teach girls to shrink themselves, to make themselves smaller. We say to girls, you can have ambition, but not too much.
UN Women, as you guys know, has defined the year 2030 as the expiration date for gender inequality. And here's what's staggering. The studies show that at the current rate, the elimination of gender inequality won't be possible until 2095.
Each time they ignore me, I feel invisible. I feel upset. I want to tell them that I am just as human as the man, that I am just as worthy of acknowledgement. We have evolved, but it seems to me that our ideas of gender have not evolved.
I still think that our girls are taught to be perfect. So many of us have gotten ourselves at the table, but we're still too grateful to be at the table to really shake it up.
I knew that because I was female, I would automatically have to prove my worth. And I was worried that if I looked too feminine, I would not be taken seriously. I really wanted to wear my shiny lip gloss and my girly skirt, but I decided not to. Instead, I wore a very serious, very manly, and very ugly suit. Because the sad truth is that when it comes to appearance, we start off with men as the standard, as the norm.
Women make up more than half of the world's population and potential. So it is neither just nor practical for their voices, for our voices, to go unheard at the highest levels of decision making.
Reaction is to pay honor to those shoulders of people who use their pens to roll over boulders so I might have a mountain of hope on which to stand, so that I might understand the power of telling stories that matter no matter what.
Hello again, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again to celebrate these 3 wonderful new works of digital theater, of digital storytelling. Friendly reminder, resetting the table as well as the in-person full production of No Pants in Tucson. I'm going to post the ticket sales link one more time in this chat. Otherwise, thanks again so much for joining us. Have a good night.